Hi there, and welcome to Oxford Brookes University. My name is Siobhan Frank. I'm the Global Recruitment Manager here at Oxford Brookes, and I help students like yourself who are interested in coming to study in the UK from the US, Canada, and Mexico. So today I'll take you on a quick whistle-stop tour of Oxford Brookes University. This is really just to give you a flavor of who we are, where we are, and what we offer. If you do have any questions after this webinar today, feel free to drop by the booth. I'll be manning it, so I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. So to get started, I'll talk a little bit about our location. So we are located in Oxford, which is in the United Kingdom. Over here on our left-hand side, you can see a map of the UK, including Ireland. And down there and towards the bottom on the right, you can see Oxford. So we are the star there. And then if you look over, you can see where we are in proximity to London. So we're about an hour and a half away from London by bus, 45 minutes-ish by train. You've got both options of traveling via bus or by train into the city, which is great. Now we are nice and close as well to London Heathrow Airport and Gatwick Airport, and those are probably going to be the two main airports that you're flying into if you're traveling over from North America. We do have a bus line system, so it's called the Airline, and it actually stops directly outside of Gatwick Airport and Heathrow Airport and takes you directly back into Oxford. We do have a stop directly outside of our Headington campus, which is great. So it's nice and easy to travel to and from the airport without a car here in the city. Now you might recognize the name of the city. We do share the city with another very famous university. So here in Oxford, we've got Oxford Brookes University and we have the University of Oxford. By having the two universities in the city, we do actually have a very high student population. So 1 in every 4 adults here are students, which means that it is very much a student-centric and student-friendly city. Now, Oxford itself is also a center for industry and enterprise. We have things like major publishing houses here in the city. We are in the heart of Motorsport Valley. We have biotech, biomedicine. So there's certainly lots going on in and around the city. This is particularly relevant for students who are interested in our programs that offer work placement opportunities, because there are certainly plenty of work opportunities in and around Oxford. Now, as a student at Oxford Brookes University, you'll also get access to what's called the Bodleian Library and the Oxford Union. So the Bodleian Library is actually part of the University of Oxford's library system, but we do have a very good relationship between the two universities. So Oxford Brookes students also get access to this library, which is great. And it does help to accompany and supplement our library here that we have on campus. Now, if you ever Google Oxford, you'll see that big domed building that's called the Radcliffe Camera, and that is actually part of the Bodleian Library system. So you might be able to get a reader card to study in that space as well. Now, you'll also be able to join the Oxford Union. So this is a student debating society, but they also hold a number of different events around the year, including a very well-known speaker series where they have plenty of interesting people come and speak to the group. So they've had anywhere from world leaders, political leaders, to actors, actresses, musicians have joined as well. They've had Game of Thrones cast, which is quite interesting. So if you ever want to have a look, just Google Oxford Union Talks and you should be able to find that on YouTube. But quite interesting, you can certainly join that as an Oxford Brookes student. Now here in the middle, you can see a lovely picture or a lovely image of our high street. So that gives you a sense of what Oxford looks like as a city. It's very historic, lots of really old buildings, lots of character. It is often referred to as the city of dreaming spires. Now I'll move on to our faculties. So I'll talk to you a little bit about the structure of the university. So we've got 4 main faculties. We have the Oxford Brookes Business School. We have Health and Life Sciences, Humanities and Social Sciences, and then the Faculty of Technology, Design, and the Environment. Within that, we have a number of different departments and schools, and in total, we have over 200 different undergraduate programs. So there's plenty of different programs, depending on what your interests are, to study here and to choose a program which aligns with what you're interested in. Some popular programs that our Canadians tend to apply for, or Canadian applicants tend to apply for, Law, physiotherapy, occupational therapy are key areas, but we also have Canadian students who apply to our international business programs. We do have some students who are interested in architecture, some of our humanities and social sciences programs. So there's all sorts of different things that you can get involved in. Now, over here on our right-hand side, you can see a picture of our library, which is in our John Henry Brooks building. It is lovely, lovely building. It was rebuilt a few years ago now, but it is certainly a very modern building and stands out against the historic architecture that we have here in the city. Now, I have had a few people describe to me that it's got kind of that startup feel space. There's lots of really interesting spaces where you can sit, collaborate with one another, or if you want, you can go into the library for a more quiet setting as well. Now, life in Oxford, there is certainly something for everyone. And again, depending on what your interests are, there's going to be something that you can do while you're here. So Oxford is home to 5 different museums. Up here on our left-hand side, you can see the Pitt Rivers Museum, which is more of a sociological and anthropological museum. Over here on our right-hand side, you can see our Ashmolean Museum, which is more of a traditional museum. So the students are looking at one of the statues there. Now, if museums aren't your thing, that's okay. We do have a number of different activities that you can partake in or attractions that you might be interested in as well. So we have the Cowley Road, which is sort of a key part and key area of nightlife here in the city. So Cowley Road is home to a number of different restaurants. So if you're a foodie, that's really great. We also have music venues and pubs along that way as well. Now we do have pubs situated along the river, which is really lovely. We have beautiful walks along the river. If you like to get outside, there's really lovely walks in and around the city as well. There's quite a bit of green space. Now over here on the right-hand side, you can see one of our students partaking in what's called punting. So punting is a very well-known summer activity here in Oxford. It's also known in Cambridge as well. But it's sort of a gondola style approach. But normally you'll see a group of people out. It is harder than it looks, but it is great fun. And you'll usually see people out with a picnic. So it's a lot of fun in the summer months. Now, why Oxford Brookes? It's more than just our rankings. So you get to live and study in Oxford, which is a world famous city known for its rich history and education. By living in the city, you'll get access to all of the different things that are happening in and around the city. So it definitely is a hotspot for really interesting people who come to speak in the city. Oftentimes those talks are available to the public, which is really great. But there is certainly other things that would draw you to it as well. So you get to gain, or as a student at Oxford Brookes, you'll gain the fundamental skills and global experience to succeed in your chosen career. So as part of our degrees, a lot of our degrees will also offer what's called a work placement year, sometimes referred to as sandwich mode. And sandwich mode is typically that because it's sandwiched in between year 2 and year 3 of your study. So that would bring your overall length of study from 3 years up to 4. But that's a really great opportunity to, if you wanted to, one, get some global work experience, particularly employers now are looking for that international work experience from employees, but also to give you some experience before you head into the job market after you complete your degree. Now, for courses that don't offer work placement, we also have definitely a focus within the university to ensure that students get that workplace or work readiness ready or experience. So things like, say, for example, some of our business programs will offer a consultancy project, which by the end of it, you end up consulting with real life businesses. And at the end of it, you have something that you can put in your portfolio in your career. Some of our other programs will have placements integrated as part of their study as well. So not a dedicated work placement year. Now, on top of that, you also get to experience a new country and a new culture, and you get a chance to make some international friends. So we do welcome students from over 140 different countries here at Oxford Brookes. So we do have a very international student body each year. What this means is that you get a chance to meet people from all over the world, hopefully give you a chance as well to learn maybe new ways of life, or as you make those friendships, you could potentially visit them after you're finished your degree as well, which is really great. Now, also as an international student, you'll get the support that you need. So we have a number of different systems and networks set up in place to make sure that you succeed in your degree, one of which is our International Student Advice Team. So we refer to that often as ISAT, but our ISAT team helps our international students. They are designed specifically for our international students, and they help with all sorts of things from visas and immigration to they run a number of different social events for our international students. So you get a chance to meet some of the other international students that you're studying with, both before and during your studies and throughout the year. They often run different events throughout the year and trips. You know, they might do a day trip to, say, Bath during the year, which is another city that's close to us. Or they'll also do things, you know, to help you integrate into life in the UK. So they'll provide you with information on where to get your groceries, how to set up a bank account, where to go to get a mobile phone, etc. They can help you acclimate to life in the UK. Now, on top of that, we have a number of other support and well-being services available here at the university. So really the key is your success is our success. So we have our Academic Development Center, and they're really designed to help you meet your academic goals that you set for yourself. So they offer things like one-to-one tutorials, writing consultations, academic English. They provide online resources for self-study or lunchtime workshops, etc. We also have our inclusive support team. So some of the services include disability services, dyslexia, dyspraxia support, and specialist mentoring. We do have our counseling services, which is a free and confidential service available to all of our enrolled students. So this is really great to make sure that you keep your mental health in mind. So individual tailored support, self-help resources, Brookes Bibliotherapy Scheme, etc. Then we also have our multi-faith chaplaincy. As I mentioned, we get a number of different international students who join us each year. So it really is important that we offer friendship and spiritual care to all members of the university. And that does include both staff and students. Next, our career service, and this is a really great one, not only while you're here as a student or while you're studying with us as a student, but you'll also have access to this particular service 3 years after you leave, which is really great. So they provide one-to-one support and advice. They provide job search support. They have a job board. They can help you with interview prep. They can help you acclimate to applying to jobs here in the UK, which can sometimes have slight nuances or differences between that and North America as well. So they're an excellent service, and I do highly recommend making use of them while you're here. Finally, we've got our mentoring schemes. So we've got mentoring schemes which give you opportunities to both develop professionally, but also network, connect with people in the industry that you're interested in. This is available both to our current students and to our alumni. Now, as a student here at Oxford Brookes, you'll also have the opportunity to take a free language module. So we do provide a wide range of free language classes for our university students. Our full-time undergraduate and postgraduate students can take one free language module per year, which is really great. So particularly if you're looking to learn another language because you'd like to travel there, perhaps for a work placement year, or if you just like to travel there afterwards, if you're thinking about maybe at some point living there, it's really great to get that language under your belt as you're studying. So some of the languages that we do include are French, Spanish, German, Japanese, and Mandarin. Now, I should also mention Brookes Rowing, but I'll also touch here a little bit on our Brookes Sport as well. So Brookes Rowing, we are known internationally for our rowing team. It is one of our performance sports. It does have an Olympic pathway program. So it is very well known here in the UK and globally for its achievements, and the team is really great. So if you are interested in rowing, this is certainly something worthwhile having a look at. We do have a Brookes Rowing page where you can reach out to coaches and ask any questions. Now, if you are interested in any of our other sports, we do offer about just under 40 different sports clubs which are available. And those sports clubs are available at all different levels, which is really great. So you could go and be a really casual player, or you could go and if you're looking for something a little bit more competitive, you can join at several different levels. So I do recommend having a look through. There's all sorts of different clubs available. We've got equestrian. We have your more traditional sports, your basketball, volleyball, lacrosse. We have rugby, cricket. So all sorts of different teams depending on what your interests are. Now we'll go through our entry requirements, fees, and funding. So entry requirements for Canadians typically start around that 70% range from your high school diploma. Now, some programs, you might see that on the entry requirements that they specify that you need GCSE equivalencies. So here in the UK, GCSE is a type of education and it's a type of level of study. And it just means that if they ask for a GCSE level at a certain grade, so at a grade B or a grade 5, it needs to be equivalent to 60% from your high school diploma. Now, if they're asking for a C, it means that you need to have achieved it at a 50% from your high school diploma. Some of the programs might also have subject-specific requirements, which means that you will need to have taken that in your high school diploma as well. But you can always have a look through the specific entry requirements on our course pages. Now, if you do have any questions, again, you can always reach out to us. You should have my contact details here. We also do have a Canada country page where you can look at equivalencies and equivalency charts. Now, moving on to fees, our 2022-23 tuition rates range from about that £14,600 to £17,100 in tuition per year. If you are looking to do that paid work placement year, there is a small nominal fee, and that ranges from about that £1,500 to £2,000 for that year, and that is because you're still being supervised by the university. And moving on to funding, we do offer international scholarships. So we have the International Student Scholarship or International Acceptance Scholarship also available in 2022. That's £2,000 off the cost of your first year of tuition. And again, that should be running kind of forwards as well. But if you want more details on that, you can look at our International Student Scholarships web pages. Now, we do also sometimes have subject-specific scholarships, so it's worthwhile having a look at the subject pages or the course, the faculty pages. We do offer Brookes Sport packages for scholars, and then there are part-time work opportunities. So as a student on your visa, there's a very good chance that you'll be able to work part-time. One job that a lot of students really enjoy doing is becoming a student ambassador. It gives you some flexible work opportunities that you can pick up the jobs according to your schedule when you're interested in doing it. So that is a really great way to get involved, and it gets you involved across the university, which is great. Now, we do also participate in the Canada Student Grants and Loan Scheme or program. So if you are applying for, say, for example, BC Financial Aid, or if you're applying for OSAP, you can certainly do that. And there is more detail on our Canada country page. So if you just Google Oxford Brookes Canada, you can jump over to our country page, and it gives you details on how you submit those loan forms. Now, how to apply, there is a couple of ways to apply to university. So you can either apply through UCAS. So UCAS is the UK Central University Application System. On one application, you can apply to up to 5 different programs or 5 different universities. And again, that's on one application. Now, really, this is a really good option if you're looking to apply to multiple programs or multiple universities. Alternatively, you can also apply directly to us using our direct application portal. So that is a free of charge application, and it's really good if you know that you specifically want to apply to Oxford Brookes, or if there's a couple of programs at Oxford Brookes that you want to apply to, you can certainly do that as well. Now, if you are applying, you're going to need a couple of supporting documents. So to apply, you'll need proof of your qualifications, and this includes any high school diplomas, any transcripts that you've got or academic transcripts. If you've taken any additional coursework, including the transcripts for that coursework, or say, for example, if you've got any relevant work experience, making sure that you also include your CV or resume in there. You'll also need a personal statement indicating the course that you're applying for and the reasons why you wish to study that program. There is some really great resource out there. There are great resources out there for personal statements. We do have some directly on our webpage, but also UCAS has some excellent ones, including a UCAS personal statement worksheet. So that's really helpful to give you a sense of what kinds of questions university admissions teams are looking for you to answer here in the UK. Finally, you'll also need a reference from someone who knows you academically, such as your teacher. And then I think if we move on now, that brings us to the end of the session today. So thank you very much for chatting or for staying and listening to me today. If you've got any other questions, You can always visit our website at www.brookes.ac.uk. You can also get in touch with me directly. My email is sfrank@brookes.ac.uk. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. I'd say Instagram is really great because oftentimes we have student takeovers, so you can see what it's like a day in the life of a student here at Oxford Brookes in a particular subject area. I'm also available in our booths as well. So if you want to drop by the Oxford Brookes booth, send me a quick chat. I'm always happy to answer your questions. Love speaking to people. But otherwise, I think that wraps us up now. So I hope you have a great time at the Recruit in Canada Fair, and we'll speak to you shortly.